Welcome to the Pool Nation podcast, where it's all pool talk. And we ain't talking about netting and jetting or splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. We talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. Now let's welcome your host, with over a decade of industry insider experience and still the reigning champion of Marco Polo, Edgar De Jesus, and his co-host, John J.J. Flawless, the fastest netter in the West, and Zach the Pool Boy Nicholas.
Welcome, everyone, to the Pool Nation Live podcast. I am your host, Edgar De Jesus, and yes, I am the reigning champion of Marco Polo, along with John J.J. Flawless, the fastest netter in the West, and the famous Zach, the Pool Boy Nicholas. Today, we're talking about business. We are answering some questions with regards to when you should stop growing, exit strategy, all that great stuff. But before we do that, I want to welcome everyone to our live podcast, the podcast where it's all pool talk. And we ain't talking about netting and jetting or splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. And yes, we will talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. But before we get started today, I want to thank our visionary partners for this podcast, the Ultimate Pool Tools, the SPPA, Blu-ray Excel, Aquastar Pool Products, Natural Chemistry, Raypack, Heritage Pool Supply, and Hayward Pool Products. We want to thank them for their continued support. Mr. Zacharias, what's going on, brother?
I've made my debut into the field again.
Out of retirement.
Yeah, I'm out of retirement, that's for sure. It's been pretty crazy, but I jumped on the live. I caught the tail end of it, and it's easy to feel isolated sometimes, and like you're the only one going through a lot of these challenges in summer, and like, man, what am I doing wrong? What are we doing wrong? What do we need to do? And it sucks that everyone's going through this, but it was a little relieving to see that, hey, it's not just us that's experiencing some of these challenges with the weather and the rain and the heat. And so I'm out there helping out. We're trying to get things going. I'm sure John's ready for me to get back into the office so that I'd stop calling him with these questions. But it's been fun, to be honest. Like, I'm getting out there, and a lot of the concepts and things, you learn it, you go through the class. I'm getting out there and I'm applying it, because when I got out of the field, that was years ago, right? So now I'm able to go out and try out some of these things, and things are clicking, and I'm able to see the results of what I'm doing. So it's been busy few weeks, but we'll get through it, and 12 more weeks, right?
You'll get through it. You'll get through it. What's scary, if you think about it, is 4th of July is 2 weeks away.
I know you said that, and I was like immediately stressing out, like, oh man, now we got to figure that out.
And it's funny because a lot of people have been going through the stress and all the work and all that kind of stuff in summer. And all of a sudden it's, shoot, you think 4th of July is 2 weeks away, and that's the peak busy season. So it's crazy. Mr. Flawless, what's going on? Did I throw you a little bit? We're doing the podcast an hour earlier today, so I think everybody's like expecting us to be on an 11, and kind of threw you for a little bit of a loop.
No, not at all. I'm happy to do it earlier in the morning. I like actually doing it earlier in the morning, because when we do it, think about it, not much you can really get done early in the morning and then be back in time so that we can start the podcast at 9 o'clock my time. And then when we're done, Zach yaps forever, and then we don't get finished until like 11:30. My time, and then the day's over at 11:30. What's there really left to do? And when you go out there to try to get things done, it's already, you get smacked in the face with the 124-degree heat, and it sucks. It literally zaps the energy straight from your body, because you don't have that time to get out there in the morning and kind of acclimate and get used to the heat as you're going through it. So thanks to the podcast, my Fridays are totally screwed up. But now that we started a little bit earlier, I got a little bit of a cushion if Zach keeps his comments to a minimum, and we finish at
To a minimum,
and we finish like around 9 o'clock. Then we still have some time to get out there and be productive. But no, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Here it is. I was just thinking about it again today, and I'm going, damn, how many times have I started the podcast with the good mornings with I'm tired? And I didn't want to. It is
more common.
And here we go again. And I'm like, like what? Eventually, it's going to be like the Chronicles of JJ's health or some shit like that. Like, we're all gonna
rumors are going to start. JJ's not doing well.
Is he going to be okay? How long? We're going to start seeing the betting sites are going to start putting up over-unders and like age and how long I'm going to make it before I collapse. And is John going to make it through another season? Let's see. Let's find out. Tune in next week. You know what I mean? Is he going to make it? I don't know. But again, I think it's my inner child fighting my getting old. And I think that's the battle right now that I have week after week. And fortunately, I think I'm losing the battle, but the war isn't over. I'm fighting. I think I'm going to get through it. But you can tell I'm starting to get bags again underneath my eyes. Things are getting a little worn out, but it's been a fun few weeks. Last week was a little bit more interesting for us. So I feel your pain, Zach, being down. I was down a man. You were down 3 trucks. So it does make things a little more complicated. We got through it and we're good. Life is moving on and here we are. I got a laundry list of crap that we got to get done with today. We were actually funny. I'll tell you a funny story. I love Mama to death, right? We all know that. And I don't even have to say it. But bless her heart, man. She has a hard time waking up in the morning. It's her family, her whole life. She is not a morning person. And she has done everything in her sweet little heart to try to change that and become better. And over the years, she's starting to get better and better at it. But still, to me, if you wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning, you're lazy and the day is halfway gone. Oh my God, what are we going to do? 8 o'clock in the morning, to her, 8 o'clock is rooster crowing. Like it's the earliest ever to get up. But every morning she gets up and she does her thing. She takes the kids to school and stuff like that and does everything she needs to do. But now summertime, and I told her, I go, look, we're doing the podcast a little bit earlier today and there's some things I need to get done. I wanted to go out and do a job this morning beforehand. And I told her, I go, look, we need to get up. We need to be at the place at 6:45 in the morning so that we can do this. And then that means it's going to take me 30 minutes to put, I have to replace, I went to replace the salt cell. Went bad, ended up being, of course, the transformer, the board, the saltwater board in the Easy Touch is fried. I went to go open up the panel and you can just smell it smoke. And I went, okay, great. So we're going to put a separate power center to the side of it and then run it real quick. It'd take me 30 minutes from pull up to pull out, right? And I said, we got to be there at 6:45. When I get there at 6:45, then that means we'll be done by 7:15. I'll be home by 7:30. And by 7:30, that means it gives me time to get ready and then we'll get on the podcast and ready to go. And she's all, I got it. And she would in her mind, she was going to do it. And she's all, baby, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be up. I'm going to be ready. Da, 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 da. She's all, okay, what time? She sets up her alarm. She does everything she can. She tries to go to bed a little bit. She does whatever. And you know what time did I wake her up today? I woke her up at like 7:50 and I said, well, and
like, how'd that work out?
Yeah, how'd that work out for you? And it's just like, whatever, but it's just funny. Anyways. I don't know. It has nothing to do with the podcast, but it is a little glimpse of our life. And
now, let me ask you: is she able to sleep well, or does she have a hard time?
She can't sleep.
So that's why.
She has insomnia. She has migraines. Every woman has a stomach issue, right? You know what I mean? Where her stomach hurts here and there, but she definitely has insomnia. And some days she has good days, some days she has bad days, but it doesn't really matter how long she's in bed. Sometimes she just can't either go to bed, or when she does go to sleep, it's for an hour and then she just wakes up and she's wide awake. And then so I feel for her. I really do. I didn't have as much sympathy for it in the past because like they say, when I went to sleep, I slept like Chevy, like a rock. I would just lay down and I would go to bed and I wake up and that's it. So if I went to bed and I was only sleeping for 4 hours, you damn right, it was 4 hours of pure sleep, right? There was no movement, no nothing. I went to bed. My body was programmed. But as I get older, that changes as well. And you've heard me talk about this too, the past year, where sleep I can't take it for granted like I used to. And there are times, I'm not at the point where I'm like you, Edgar, where I have to get up and go pee 50 times in the middle of the night, but I'm at the point where at least when I get up, I just get up and I'm awake, or I'm uncomfortable, or I'm like tossing and turning, or I'm snoring more than usual and I'm waking myself up, or maybe I got sleep apnea. I don't know what the hell's going on with me. Something's happening with me. Shit's changing and I just don't get restful sleep. And maybe I get 2 to 3 nights, or maybe 1 to 2 nights a week where I'll sleep really well. And the other nights I just don't. And Janie knows this now, and she's like a little friggin' doctor, and she's sitting there taking notes. Well, you did this when you're sleeping. You did that in your sleep. That's how old you're getting, right? Because she's wide awake, the poor thing. She can't sleep, or either I'm like screaming like at a rock concert, because apparently I snore, and I snore really well, but I don't know that I snore. But she's like taking notes and saying, oh, baby, this night you slept good. This night you didn't sleep good. And she's trying to figure out, like what I do with her when she's not doing well, trying to figure out her issues so that we can get her feel better. She's doing it with me, trying to master and understand why I'm sleeping the way I'm sleeping. But again, I don't know why I'm putting so much into it. I think it's as simple as just you're getting a little bit older, Johnny boy, and this is a part of life.
I just hope that doesn't happen to me when I make it to your age, my friend.
Oh.
I sleep like a baby. And so hopefully when I make it to that age, that doesn't happen to me. I'll let you know.
Right.
Hey, want to give some shout outs over here for everybody that's joining us. I know that we started an hour earlier today, so probably threw off a whole bunch of people out there. But first response, Michael, big shout out to you. Janie, good morning. Let's see here. Maria in Sonata Pools is on here as well. Want to give a shout out to Ken Morris, Adams, NorCal, all the way out there. Big shout out to you. Jeanette, good morning. And I do want to give a shout out to our friend Stan, which is listening on LinkedIn. Big shout out to you. And Thomas as well. Excuse me, that's listening on LinkedIn. Big shout out to all you guys out there. Appreciate you guys being on. Before we get started today, I do want to say something, which every time we hit it, and then I forget to bring it up in the podcast. Gentlemen, we are on episode 200 of the Pool Nation podcast.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Episode 200, my friend. How many years is that, John?
That's 4 years.
4 years?
Yeah, that's 4 years. That's crazy.
May I say, I was thinking about this last night as I was having one of those Zach moments where I was inspired and I was talking about consistency. And if you want to be successful, you have to work hard and the consistency and all that kind of stuff. We started 4 years ago. We have not missed one podcast in 4 years.
Wow.
Really? Well, you can't, right? It's all in or all out, right? We talked about this from the very beginning. We're like the three musketeers, and we put our hands together, I think, like when we was at 1, 2, 3, right? No, we get right?
John just wanted to hold mine and Zach's hands. That's all he wanted.
No, I remember clearly.
He did like this, Zach. Remember, instead of going like this, he went and he wanted us to hold our hands.
Exactly. And I remember we're sitting there going to look, and we all came to agreement. We all felt the same way, and it was like, look, dude, we all have our lives. We know how important this is, and we see the value in this, and we love the pool industry, right? And why wouldn't we? But if we're going to do this and we're going to take more time away from our lives, which we know we're very busy, that if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right. It's either all in or all out. Otherwise, what's the point of doing it? My pops has always told me that, dude, if you're not going to do something, if you don't want to do something, don't do it, because you're not going to give 100% effort into it. And if you are going to do something, you better give it everything you got, right? You want to be laying on the floor at the end, finished with every ounce of being doing it. Otherwise, what's the point of doing it, right? You're just wasting your time and everybody else's time. So that was always my mentality. And that's why I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. Or no, okay, I'll do it. And I have to make that decision. And if I do it, then I'm in. But if not, then it's nope. So if people want to know why I say no sometimes, that's the reason why. I'm not 100% committed. So I won't agree to it. But that doesn't surprise me that we stuck to it and we've done it every single week. And then the same thing with lives. We've been consistently with lives, and unless we have
lives, it's been 4.5 years, my friend.
I know. And it's obviously when we have things where we're not physically available or life gets in the way or what, we are consistent. And I think that's part of the reason why, we're still here doing it, is because we are here. And we talked about it at the beginning. I said this, I go, look, there's so many things that have happened in this pool industry, and you can apply this to pretty much any industry, but the pool industry, especially that I've viewed, is like everybody starts off. And I think that was the biggest problem, or the biggest hurdle or objective we had, was that here's the new shiny object in the industry, or here's this person making a splash and they're saying all this, all that, all this, all they're going to do this. And I truly believe that they had all the best intentions when they made that commitment, but they just underestimated what it actually took and the resistance that you would get from the man, if you want to put it that way, from the industry as a whole, because nothing or nobody usually does well with change. And it's hard because it's uncomfortable, because it's the fear of the unknown, because it's different. And as human beings, and it's human nature to do what you're comfortable doing, right? And not actually stepping out on a limb. So when all these new shiny objects come into play and do these types of things, they hit the scene with a bang, and then what ends up happening is they wither away. And again, it's not because they weren't sincere. It's just sometimes it's a very difficult road ahead. And with us, it was no different. God, I can't remember. We used to laugh. and have these conversations where people were constantly vendors, manufacturers, other pool pros and stuff were looking at it. It was just like the tap on the head thing that I always talk about. Say, oh, good job, good boys. You know what I mean? Oh, this is really cute what you're doing. I'm like, okay, whatever, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Sure, it's cute, great. And you listen, stay tuned because we're not going anywhere. And everybody's, yeah, right, yeah, right, yeah, right, yeah, right. And I don't know when exactly that transition happened, but obviously that's not the talk anymore. And I don't have that resistance is finally gone. And I think people are embracing it. And you can see that because so many more splashes in the industry that are happening that are great for the industry, right? I mean, things people are jumping in it. Education is like huge, business acumen, all these things that we've been talking about and that have always been important. But I think that hasn't been like the top subject or the topic that a lot of people really spoke about. They only really talked about it when there was trade show time or a certain portion of the year. But now I think it's become a thing and I'm stoked, man. I really am. But again, I'm not surprised that we're still doing it after 4 years. The only thing I am surprised about is that you're still my friend. I usually wear people out.
Don't talk about Zach like that.
I am talking to Zach.
Yeah. Kind of a little quiet back there in the middle, Zach.
And then for you, I'm surprised that you haven't totally pissed me off. You know what I mean? And I still talk to you or I still pick up the phone. No, I'm just kidding.
5 times a day still.
5 times. If it was only 5 times, that would be fine, right. But it's more like 14 times a day. Zach, what's happening to him now is now he's starting to get to the point where the other day he called me. I don't know if you listened on the Instagram Live, but he was like, hey, Edgar, and he's all fired up. And I'm like, hey, what's up? And he goes, hey, I have an idea. And he jumps in and I'm like, whoa, stop. He's like, oh, what? I go, start that conversation again. He goes, I have an idea. I go, that's the way I like it. Now let's keep going with the conversation. Then he turns around, does all this, hangs up, literally turns around, calls me back. Hey, I was talking and I forgot to tell you about this and that. And I'm like, boy, have we come full circle, my friend.
We have, but look.
Now you sound like Edgar.
But also, too, one thing, and you forget this part, too, where I was texting him and I was getting pissed off because I called him a few times. And then when I'm calling him, he's not answering the phone or he's putting me straight to voicemail. And that pisses me off so, dude.
Can I call you back later?
Dude,
but here's the
no, I'm not done. I'm not done. You'll have that chance. You'll have your chance to defend yourself. Let me finish.
I'm a news host. Wait.
You will have your chance to defend yourself, my friend. Okay. Before you go muddy the waters, let me explain my irritation.
All right.
And the reason behind it, because I believe I deserve that at least. And maybe it's because, I don't know, it's just how I am. So lately, and maybe it's because I'm calling you more, right? You know what I mean? Before I would call you, I don't know, 2 times a day.
You would never call me.
No, I would call you like once or twice. And you would call me 15, 20 times. Maybe. I don't know. But when I started calling, this has been the last month or so, brother. And I'm going to make a confession here and I'm going to do it live in front of everybody, right? Because I think this is how we can hash it out and maybe we can.
Wait, let me mute his mic. Hold on.
Okay. Right. I would say at least 70% of the time now, when I call you, I get that damn stupid generic message. Let me call you back. You know what I mean? Or can I call you later?
I'm going to do a custom one.
So, and to me, I can't tell you how irritating because one, when I call, right, and not saying that you do it otherwise, but when I call, it's because I have something that I need to talk to you about, right? You know what I mean? And it's usually maybe in the morning before it would be like just to shoot the shit. Got to get a good morning, get an idea of how many times you're going to call me that day so I can mentally prepare myself. I'll call you first in the morning. And
when I call you and good morning, sunshine.
Yeah. You know, our initial phone call, that's what that's about. Okay, let me get the temperature for the day. I already have this that I need to take care of. And now I got us that we have to worry about. And then let me see how today's going to go and what we got to get done. But when I call you do that and I'm just like, God damn it. But you can say this for sure. One thing, when somebody calls me, what do? I pick up the phone. I always pick up the phone, except that
I'm gonna call your bluff. I'm going to call your bluff. I'm going to call your bluff, bro. I'm going to call your bluff. I called you yesterday twice. You didn't answer.
I did it on purpose. I told you.
Ah, there's the confession, Zach.
Look, every time I pick up so much that when I don't pick up for whatever reason because I'm talking on the phone or I don't call you right back, you go into panic mode and you don't want to talk to me anymore. why aren't you picking up the phone? You know what I mean? What's wrong? Did I upset you, John? You know what I mean? He's all, what? He's all, we have issues. Are you canceling the trip out to Texas? Dude, you like get totally off board. I'm like, wow, no, I'm sorry. I had my hands full, or my hands were wet, or I was talking to a customer, or I was in the bathroom, Edgar. You know, I don't want to pick up the phone. But that's my confession to you right now. And I think we need to hash this out so that we can move on, because I'm hurt.
By the way, I'll tell you.
Now you can defend yourself.
I will tell you, especially like I've been spending a lot of time on the phone in the last couple of days, but I at least always hit that little message and tell you, hey, I'm going to call you back. When I call you and you don't answer, he doesn't even send me the little generic thing that says, hey, I'll call you right back.
You want me to tell you why that pisses me off?
By the way, I called you the other night and you didn't even call me till the next day.
Let me tell you something. We talk about human mind and psyche here, okay? So you know this, and I think this will better serve you, and I think it'll help. This is brother to brother, love to love. If you call somebody and they don't answer, in your mind, you either think, oh, they didn't hear the phone, or maybe the phone wasn't near them, or maybe they were busy at the time and they couldn't get it, and that's why they couldn't pick up. When you give that message and you say, hey, I know you're calling, but whatever I'm doing is more important than you. So instead of picking up the phone and talking to you, I'm going to push you away and tell you, hey, I'll get to you when I have time. That's what that message sends out to people. It's like, oh, look, I'm prioritizing.
That's what it sends to you.
No, because I could be floating in the pool. And how would you feel? I could be face down in the pool.
Then we'll just bury you. That's a whole different conversation. Here's the thing. From my point of view, when I send you the message, I'm acknowledging that even though I'm talking to somebody else, I'm taking the time to acknowledge that, yes, I saw your call and I am going to call you back. And I send you a message and say, hey, I'm going to call you back so that you don't feel ignored.
No, I hear.
And you don't.
You can take it. Look, again, this goes back.
So that's interesting, because when you don't answer and you don't send me the message, I'm like, he does have something more important that he's not even acknowledging me on the phone that he's answering, right? But anytime I'm talking to anybody, it doesn't matter who I'm talking to, I hit that button and I say, hey, brother, I hear you. I see you. I'm going to call you back. Jeanette is telling us to hug it out. So we're going to have to post some pictures now of us hugging it out.
You guys have some trauma to work through.
Some deep issues, right? So,
you both ignore
listen.
Me, and I'm like, they must be on the phone with someone.
Exactly. You can't.
Zach is going, oh, thank God they didn't
John
answer.
did let it ring all the way to voicemail, and you always send me the message.
What's your take on this, Zach?
Switzerland. He's Switzerland. He's
I guess either way, if someone doesn't answer the phone, I'm like, they must be busy right now. So I haven't put a lot of thought into it, really.
John and Edgar like overthinking it to the left and to the right. Zach's all. Well, he didn't answer. You know what, John? He just made me. Yeah, that's like a typical guy response. Oh, he didn't answer. Oh, and we're over here bitching and whining about answering.
Are you going to stop sending the message, Edgar?
No,
or are you going to
always
start sending the message?
No, he is. But
I'll always send it that I got your message, that I'm calling you back. So
he's going to have a custom one that says,
guys, everybody, it's well.
But here's the thing. I am going to customize mine.
I want to see that.
I'm going to be like,
I'm going to create one too, brother.
I'm going to put, hey, baby, I'm not ignoring you, sunshine. I love you. I'm going to call you back. And as soon as I'm done with it, you watch and I'm going to post it.
You're my number one.
Yeah. Anyways, gentlemen, we're 29 minutes into this thing and we're like all left field and right field and having a good time here. So
we're
anyways,
covering John's insomnia, tiredness, his insecurity.
Phone etiquette.
Right? Phone etiquette, insecurities. Right?
It's episode 200. It's time to just get it out now. And
hopefully people are getting laughs at this. If you guys are out there listening to us right now while you're.
By the way, and everybody that's listening, like we literally talk like freaking 15 times a day. Like no joke. Like we're constantly calling everybody back and forth. And a lot of times the conversations aren't a quick 10 minutes, right? They're like 30, 40 minutes that we get into all the conversations. So that's why we joke around about all the calls and sending to voicemail and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, John, I want you to listen to something.
Sure.
You ready?
Yeah.
Check this out.
Calling all women in the pool industry. The 3rd annual Pool Nation Women's Summit is just around the corner on August 29th and 30th, and you don't want to miss it. This incredible event is designed to empower, educate, and connect women who are making waves in the pool industry. Whether you're in manufacturing, distribution, service, retail, or a business owner, there's something for everyone. Registration is now open at poolnation.com. Secure your spot today and join us for an unforgettable experience. Visit poolnation.com to register now. See you there.
How'd you like that?
Oh, I loved it, dude. You know what I'm thinking? Kate, she's amazing, right?
Kate is awesome.
Dude, her voice is
Love
awesome.
Kate.
You know what we should do? Let's hire her real quick to create a track that I can play in my ears and mama's ears. And it's very soothing, like go to sleep. Because her voice is very soothing, right? And it's captivating. Maybe she can play like we could have her do a 30-second clip of something. It says, go to sleep, or
some white noise.
Yeah, some whatever it may be. But that is spot on right there. Yeah. Top notch.
Yep. So big shout out to Kate out there. Hey, for all the women out there, the Women's Summit, August 29th and 30th over in McKinney at the Heritage Pool Supply. Believe it or not, John, we already have 61 women registered. We opened registration this week. We only have 20-something spots left out there. So if you are planning on going to the Women's Summit event, register today. Looking forward to seeing all you women out there and being able to connect an amazing lineup that we have going on. So let's jump into that, John. What we'll do is we'll kind of get through this, go to our break, and then we will start talking about exit strategy, business, all that kind of fun stuff. So first class that they're going to be doing out there is going to be Alicia Stevens, and it's going to be Breaking Boundaries, a discovery of passion and making a difference.
I think Zach fell off his chair. He's like, I'm totally Switzerland, right? He's like, I don't even want to.
Somebody called him and he doesn't know what to do. He's like, I press the button. Do I not press the button?
Our next class is going to be driving results through accountability.
Yes. The next one is going to be Emotional Intelligence and Effective Leadership by Doreen King. Super excited about that. Go ahead and listen to our latest podcast on that, and you'll be able to do a deep dive into the podcast with Doreen. It was amazing stuff.
And then we're going to be doing Maintaining Company Culture with Carrie David.
Yes. And then we're going to be doing Driving Results Through Accountability, and that's going to be Leanne.
I'm waiting for you, Zach.
Zach has no idea. He just came back from his break.
Then we're going to do Emotional Intelligence and Effective Leadership with Doreen King.
Oh, she already talked about that one. Perfect. And then we're going to be doing Public Speaking Workshop with our good friend, Jamie Novak.
Yes. And then we are going to do Breaking Up with Burnout with Tracy Baer. That's going to be out there. And the last class that we are going to be doing is with Sabina Hickman, and she's going to be talking about family and networking and job and how to balance, that entire cycle. And then the last stories that we're going to have is we're going to have Francine Gonzalez share her story in the industry, as well as Stacy Gearhart. So we're excited about that, excited about the Women's Summit. If you want to register, go to poolnation.com. Spaces are limited. The next thing we want to talk about really quick is the Pool Nation Spotlight and Insight. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Is that a beauty or what?
Yeah, that's a great picture.
So it's a great cover, Zach, right?
Mm-hmm.
You like that? Got to put Zach on the cover, John. What do you think?
100%.
Right? We should put him on the cover on there. So for all of you out there that are listening, if you have not heard, we have a Pool Nation Spotlight and Insight newsletter that we put out every month. You can go to poolnation.com. There is a picture of John going like this for you to enter your email address into the box, and then you'll be able to get that on a monthly basis. And what we do is we highlight people in the industry. We do business tips. We do industry insights. We do have monthly promos. The current monthly promo is $300 off a Aquastar pump. And then you also get an actuator 3-way valve as well on there that they'll send directly to you. It's about $500 worth of savings. And then every month we'll have a different one. So check it out. You guys can check that out on poolnation.com. You can enter your email address so that you could get that on a monthly basis and take care of some of those savings. Looking to do one for the conference, John, where we get a whole bunch of them in there.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about it yesterday, right? That's a killer idea.
That'll be a good one.
See, like Costco's coupon book.
Yeah, there you go.
You get the coupon, your Costco sends it over, then you go through and you flip through. Those are only one of the ones that I kind of look at, even though I know it's probably the most dangerous book to look at. because any Costco trip, and it's true.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, any Costco trip, if I'm not dropping $1,000 at Costco, then I'm walking away like I won the lotto, dude. Because when we go there, we have so many people that we have to feed, right? I have a family of 7 here that we take care of and that we got to feed. And I like buying weird shit, and I'm a sucker for deals too. So when I see a deal, I'm like, I'm going to buy it because it's a great deal, right? I can use it, and we're going to use more of it. But we go there, or if we go shopping for dinner, it ends up being $1,000 or more every single time without fail. And it just blows my mind, man. And I'm like, it actually hurts. I don't know. But Costco is, I don't know why I'm off on this tangent again. Today's we're a little off topic today, but you're on.
I'm starting to get a little worried about you, John. John is really personal today.
Everything is about mental health right now for me, right? John's state of mind and his brain. And I think I'm going through a crisis, brothers.
I was just about to say that I think you might be going through a little bit of a midlife crisis, John.
I might be rolling up in like a Porsche or like a Ferrari or something like that at our next meeting in Dallas, because I feel like I need to do something crazy for myself and go through I think I might be going through a midlife crisis.
I think you are, my friend.
Oh my God. I had a revelation today. I
think you're going through something deep, my friend.
Oh man.
Oh, Lord. So anyways, it's bad when he goes into a conversation about his Costco trips.
Or maybe we'll go to Bed Bath & Beyond, but I don't know if we're going to have time. Maybe we won't have time.
People are going to be like, that was it. Episode 200 is the one that broke them. They talked about phone calls and whether you answer, whether you send the message. John's off on a tangent on Costco and his $1,000 trip, and he's a sucker for deals.
Wow. I can't sleep.
Man, where are we going? We're crashing here and burning pretty quick.
Well, I know we're not going to get through these questions. I'll tell you that. I know that for sure.
Let me get into the next one. The next one is the Pool Nation Conference. We are going to be doing a Pool Nation Conference November 9th, 10th, and 11th out at Dallas at the Convention Center as a part of the PSP Expo. It's going to be Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We are going to be doing 13 technical classes. We're going to be doing 13 business classes. We're going to be doing 12 hands-on classes. We're going to be doing 5 retail classes out there. We're going to target each one of those different categories. For more information, you could go to poolnation.com. There's a big button that says on their conference. You can click on that. The schedule will start to go up here within the next couple of days. We'll be able to share all those, but a lot of those conversations that John and I were joking about is we were finalizing with some of the people that are going to be doing some hands-on education, and it is going to be next level. So stay tuned. And for a lot of the pool pros, MD Pool Rescue messaged me yesterday. I spoke to Larry from Las Vegas yesterday as well. And they were both, hey, sorry, we haven't been listening. But you know what, everybody, this is summertime. This is our crunch time. We get it. Do your thing and no worries. But we'll keep you here informed about the Pool Nation Conference because both of them are going, John, Zach. They were excited and talking about it. So everybody stay tuned. So anyways, guys, let's do this. Let's take our word from our sponsors really quick. And then when we come back, I want to jump in. And guys, the first question that we are going to tackle is the following. How do you know when you have grown enough? We're at 500 and steadily growing, but when should I stop growing? So that's the first question that we're going to answer. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back.
Hey, before you do the commercial break, maybe we should change the title from Growth and Exit Strategy to Midlife Crisis or something like that. Because I'm telling you, we might get into a little bit of this, but we're not going to finish it. I think we should change the title of this podcast.
So let me see.
John explores his feelings. Coming to terms with life or accepting.
What are we going?
What should we put? I don't know. Midlife crisis? Maybe? Question mark.
John's midlife crisis?
Yeah, I think question mark. A couple. Yeah. Oh, boy.
What about this? Does this work?
Perfect.
So we're talking today about John's midlife crisis. Everybody stay tuned. We will be right back.
The Hyper Pole from Ultimate Pool Tools is a pool care pole designed by pool professionals for pool professionals, featuring precision-crafted carbon fiber and stainless steel construction. Go to ultimatepooltools.com or Instagram at Ultimate Pool Tools. Pool pros have specific needs when it comes to general liability insurance. The SPPA program has you covered. With 3 tailored and customizable general liability options, SPPA makes it easy for pool pros to feel secure. Find out more and get covered at thesppa.com. Now available, Pool Invoice. Pool Invoice is a pool billing software created specifically for the pool service and repair industry. It's developed for our industry and only our industry. Pool Invoice is built with recurring billing in mind. You can print, email, text invoices, or even send via WhatsApp. You can add reoccurring or yearly charges, accept credits, and set up autopay. You can even see when customers have seen the invoice. It even has a customer portal where they can log in and see, print, and pay invoices. It has all your customers' information on one page, so you don't need to search through hundreds of invoices looking for the one you need. Just go to the customer profile and it's all at your fingertips. Created specifically for the pool industry, Pool Invoice. Now available at poolinvoice.com. Blu-ray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blu-ray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blu-ray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BluRayXL.com.
Blu-ray all day.
Aquastar's new pipeline cartridge filters, available in 2 sizes, deliver top-notch hydraulic efficiency along with best-in-class filtration performance, approaching that of DE filters. Uniquely designed, open pleat spacing means 100% of the media square footage is usable. And these claims are backed by NSF test results. Designed with the pro's time and comfort in mind, the patented double locking system improves safety and ease of access, making filter cleaners faster than ever before. Available now. Ask your supplier for pipeline filters today.
Natural Chemistry, a leader in specialty water care solutions for over 30 years, is proud to provide products that make pool service easier than ever before. Its unique enzyme formulations in Pro Series Pro Blend improve efficiency of your pool program while reducing frequency of filter cleaning and scum lines. Natural Chemistry is also well known for its wide variety of phosphate removal solutions that include a non-clouding formula in Phos-Free and extremely high-range removal with Pro Series Phos Remove or Phos-Free Max. Save time, save money, save work with Pro Series products. Stop sacrificing durability or efficiency with the help of Raypak's new Avia HD models that utilize NITEC, their exclusive industry-first technology. NITEC heat exchanger technology is Raypak's latest solution to superior strength and maximum efficiency when it comes to residential pool heating. With 900% more nickel compared to copper nickel in critical surfaces, NITEC creates an ideal surface to protect against scale formation and erosion without compromising on Avia's 84% thermal efficiency. Learn more at raypak.com/NITEC. The next evolution in lighting is here. Universal Color Logic 2.0 from Hayward. The latest in pool and spa lighting was designed with you in mind, making installation a breeze. Upgrades include a detachable cord and first-of-a-kind adjustable lower catch to overcome variations in plaster thickness. As always, Universal Color Logic lights retrofit into virtually any in-ground pool or spa while delivering industry-leading, vibrant color. Visit Hayward.com to discover more.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Pool Nation Live podcast. We're talking to John. We're talking to Zach. We are talking about John's midlife crisis. We've figured that out. We started having a great conversation and slowly went down the path that John wanted us to rename the episode into his midlife crisis. So here we are, midlife crisis episode. So actually, it just flows perfectly, right?
Yeah.
Episode 200, right? So
Well, does that mean that we're only going to do 400? See, now I'm going to start tripping out thinking that we have an end life at 400 episodes.
no, at 400, we have another. So Zach will probably have his midlife crisis.
Okay.
And then 200 after that will be mine or mine first, whatever, however it works out. Probably mine will come next. But John is a little bit older soul than I am.
I am.
You are. So mine's probably coming. Mine might not even be 200, John. It might come sooner. So anyways, hey guys, I wanted to get to the following question, and Derek sent the question in, and I'm going to read it one more time. And that was, how do you know when you have grown enough? We're at 500 and steadily growing, but when should I stop growing? And I'm going to go here really quick, and then I'll pass it on to John or Zach over here. And one of the things that we started talking about this a little bit on the Instagram Live, with regards to growth. And I think one of the biggest things that we don't do as business owners, and John, you hit a little bit on this on the Instagram Live, is we really don't set ourselves up for an exit strategy. I think a lot of times when it comes to a lot of different things, when it comes to business, when it comes to finances, when it comes to a lot of other things, we get into our life, you put your head down, you plow through, right? And then all of a sudden you lift your head up and you're 50, 60 years old. And then at that point, you're trying to figure out, shoot, what am I going to do when I retire? Because we all have a shelf life of how much work we could do. There just gets to a point where you cannot work anymore. And so one of the things that I would suggest is when you're going to stop growing is really when you figure out what that exit strategy is. And when I mean exit strategy is with this business that you have built, it's worth a certain amount of dollars, right? And that certain amount of dollars is going to be hopefully what allows you to go off into retirement, off into the sunset. What I would do is I would sit down and I would look at figuring out what your strategy is for your retirement, right? Because that will dictate, right? So let's say that your business is worth X amount of dollars right now at 500, and you meet with somebody that's a financial business planner that is able to give you advice to do all those things. And if they say, hey man, at 500, this is the lifestyle that you're going to be able to live. But if you grow that business to 700, it's going to put you in a totally different category, right? I think that plays into the decision as to how much you should grow. And I know that Zach has a totally different point of view on this, and I'm going to let him jump in and do that. The very first thing that I would do is I would really set your goals, right? Set your objective as to what that's going to be. And then that will allow you to decide how much do I need to grow this business? Because if you're growing the business and you're doing well and you're not overwhelmed and you're not stressed out and you can keep growing that machine to help you get to a certain goal for that retirement, I say go for it. That's my 10 cents. Zach, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think I have pretty similar thoughts to you. And we talk about it all the time. We talk about vision and we talk about exit, and these things actually go hand in hand, in my opinion. And I think that you have to know exactly what you're trying to do. And a lot of times when we first start out, we don't really have an understanding of what we're trying to do. We're just trying to put food on the table and keep a roof over our head. And I totally understand that. But when you start getting bigger, you start getting up to hundreds of accounts and things like that, it gives you an opportunity to start thinking about the future. And I think that one thing we need to do as business owners is we need to tie in personal vision with our business vision, because those things, they go hand in hand, right? And I think once you establish what the goals are, what the future looks like, and what the exit plan is, then you can start building the company and tailoring it to meet those goals and achieve that. And I think John talked about it. I caught some of the live. I think he talked about knowing what you're doing it for and it being able to help you determine what you're doing or not doing. And that's, again, when we first start out, a lot of times we fall victim to the whole mentality of someone's asking for a service, I can make money on this, I need to provide that service. And we find ourselves stretched thin, like doing all these random things, being that yes man that we've talked about before. But once you have a clear kind of defined path, it makes it a lot easier to say, no, we're not doing this. Yes, we are doing that, and building your company in that way. I've seen people that I've met that they do it themselves and they max out their investments and they get rental houses and IRAs and they're putting in so that when they get to the end of the retirement, maybe they sell their route off, make a little cash, but then they're set up. And then there's other people that they're all in and this is their investment vehicle and they're spending all that time building up. And so to say there's not an exact answer of like when to stop growing, it's really just boils down to what's your vision, what's your exit, and then honestly, what's your threshold for pain and stress, because there's a lot of that involved when you're growing too.
Yeah. And John, I'm going to let you talk about it, but any business that you start, anything that you do, an exit strategy has to be part of what it is that you do. And John and I just had John did a trip out here. We sat down. John, how long were we talking about that part of our business strategy? Like we spent a good hour and a half talking about that element of our business plan. And when we sit down, there's a thought process that you need to have to all of it, right? And so as your company grows, as you look at those revenue situations, it's like, how is that going to help you? Because you own the business. How is that going to help you? And how do you set up that exit strategy? And we just did the exercise, a week ago, John, on this entire exit strategy.
Yeah, not only that, and why it's so important to have that is because you got to remember as a business owner, when you make these decisions have consequences. And when you base a decision or you're making a decision, it needs to coincide with, it has to fall in plan with whatever your exit strategy is. And if it doesn't, then you either need to determine whether or not, if that is truly your exit strategy, or that needs to adjust, because it's not set in stone forever. But every decision that you make needs to complement what your goals are. And if it doesn't, that gives you the insight on whether or not you should be going that way or this way with whatever decision it may be. Because if it doesn't complement it, then that's not where you're trying to go. And it gives you clarity as a business owner in what you do. And it helps alleviate a lot of that stress. Like, oh, what do I need? Okay, well, how does this work? If I do this, will it benefit? Will it get me closer to my target or get me closer to my goal? Yes or no? If it doesn't, then it's not for us, right? If it does, then yes, then we're going to move forward in that situation. Or if we really think it needs to, and we have to adjust what our plans are, then that's what we need to do as well. But without knowing the end game, you're just flying blind. And I can't remember how many episodes ago, it was a long time ago, I was talking about it. Imagine wherever you're going, if you had your eyes closed, right? And it doesn't matter how straight you think you're walking. You open up your eyes, you walk 50 yards, right? You are in a completely different realm of the world. You are not walking straight. It's just not possible. But if you have your eye on the prize and you understand where you're going, then you naturally gravitate towards that, right? And then you go from there. And then if you accomplish that and then you build from there and do from there, whatever, then that's what you do. If you don't know the purpose of what you're doing, then you're leaving it all up to chance. And eventually that's how you're going to crash and burn, or you're going to be unduly stressed out, or you're going to be making the wrong business decisions that are going to be hurting you. But I want to attack this from a different angle, this question. I think it's a very good question, and I'm going to get deep on this one. And I haven't really gotten deep in a while, aside from my midlife crisis, right? And look at it from a different lens here. When I hear this question, I think of some of the pitfalls, even myself, that I've gone through. And I'll be honest, this is something that I've struggled with before in the past as well, and sometimes even currently. When I hear somebody who's gotten up to 500 accounts, I think of somebody like myself at the very beginning, and all of us when we first started. And Zach, you touched on this a little bit. You're hungry, and you started this with a vision to be on top of the world and to run and to have 5,000 accounts or whatever it may be, to become extremely wealthy and successful. And you had this vision in your mind. There's no way you got to 500 accounts by chance. Okay. You have some hunger and you got there. What I hear, how do I know when I've grown enough? I hear of somebody becoming complacent, maybe, when it comes down to getting too comfortable living the life that they're living, because you have gotten to the point where you've been able to accomplish so much that you're probably living comfortably. You don't have to worry or need for a lot of different things financially or for your business or whatever. Things are just running really well as far as company-wise. I'm sure everybody has their problems. I'm not saying that you guys aren't. Any successful business has a host of problems, and every business has a problem. The difference is how well you deal with them and what you do with them. But I think of it like, because I catch myself at times where it's like me 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, when I would have done that. Because sometimes when I get a phone call, or we've gotten to a place where we're comfortable as well, bills are being paid, we're making enough money, life is good, we don't need or want for anything. And have I personally intentionally pumped the brakes a little bit? And where would I have been if for the last year or that 1 year, 2 years ago or whatever, if I kept the pedal to the metal and I kept pushing, how big would I have been and how much more could I have gotten? Because I think it's human nature to do as little as possible to achieve the results that you want. And if we all could take a magic pill and that made us super ripped and buff, you had a choice. You could take this pill that is going to do this for you, make you lose weight, whatever, feel healthy and do that, and then gain 50 pounds of lean muscle, or work out, diet well for a year, 18 months, and achieve the same result. What would we do? How many of you would actually work out for 18 months and go to the gym 5 times a week, right? Work out for an hour, 45 minutes every single day, do cardio, eat crap food so that you can be healthy, and then just so you can get the result, or take this pill and then you get it automatically. 99% of people would normally just take the pill and do it because it's about the result and not necessarily the journey getting there. You don't really get to realize that until you get older in life. So that's where I'm getting at this. So I'm asking, has your exit strategy changed? Are you just comfortable with where you're at and you don't want to do anymore? Or is it that you're just losing that fire, or you're just getting too comfortable with where you're at? And ask yourself who you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago when you first started, and what your dreams and your aspirations were. What would that person say? And then come to the decision from there, because I don't know. We can't give you the answer to that question, really, but it's a battle I think all of us fight inside. And I know that I do myself. What were we going to say?
And life changes, right? Like that guy, when I started, didn't have a family and kids. And I think a lot of people go through that. So your priorities shift. It's a fluid thing that needs adjustment, but totally.
True. Yeah. So what I'm getting at is, okay, just when you've reached this level, and it's like, well, I talk about this too. You can go to the gym for a week and you don't see any results, right? But you go to the gym for 2-3 months, and then you finally, one day, you can go there and you can have the greatest workout you want, right? You know what I mean? You're pumping and you're doing whatever. And then you go look in the mirror and there's nothing's changed. And you keep doing it and nothing's changed until just one day your body changes and transforms. And all that work that you've done and put in finally starts to pay off, and you see it and you get remotivated, right? And you actually see your result. I'm seeing it like the cusp of where you're at, wherever you're at in your journey, whether it's you, Zach, whether it's you, Edgar, whether it's the person asking this question, or anybody listening right now. Are you at that point, you know what I mean, where you're going there, you're feeling healthy, you're not really seeing the results, but you're like that close from reaching your dream. And all you have to do is give that extra push, or that extra 1 year or 2 years of just balls out like you were before, and you would reach another level, or the level, that God level that you're looking for. And all that, it's like you put in 10 years worth of work, and then you received X amount. But if you just put 2 more years of that hard work because you've grown so much, it's like you would have accomplished. What can you sell out now, or are you going to sell your business now? But if you push it a little bit more, it'll be worth 10 times as much, because all that effort. Yeah.
That just goes back to the exit strategy, right? If you meet with somebody, you meet with that financial planner, right? That's going to be able to help you and guide you through that process. You could look at it and say, hey, if I grow by this X amount, this is how much more that business is going to be worth. And he's saying on here that he could go for 5,000 accounts. Everyone around me is asking, when is enough is enough? And look, enough is enough when you're satisfied. Forget about what the people next to you say, or what their comments are, or it's what makes you feel good. And think about it. If you're at a situation where you're young, right?
Yeah.
And you're able to get to the point that you are 5,000 accounts, when you get to that age where you're like, hey, now it's time to hang up those cleats. There's a huge difference between 500 and 5,000, right? And it's going to put you in a lot better situation. So I think a lot of it has to do with exactly what John's talking about. Do you still have that fire? If you still have that fire and you could still grow that to the 5,000, then you need to think about that in that exit strategy of the day that you hang up those cleats. This is how much it's going to be worth. And it's going to give you that fire to go from the 500 to the 5,000 accounts.
Now, what I want to clarify real quick, when we say who gives a shit what other people are saying, I'm not talking about family, significant others, the people that you're actually doing this for, right? If this is impacting your life or your wife or your significant other, your children, we all prioritize and value things. They all carry a weight. And as men or as women or as business owners, however it may be, as breadwinners, right? Let's just put it at that. We have to juggle. It's the hardest thing sometimes. And I went through it, this crisis, when I first started in my earlier career, my previous life before this. The way I was raised, and traditionally, is as the man, working was my life, and providing for my family was what my purpose in this world was. That's what I'm supposed to do. That was what was instilled in me from my father, was that this is the man's job. And you work and you bust your ass and you work hard, and kids and children sometimes don't get to see that or don't appreciate it until later in life. But sometimes it gets to a point and puts such a strain on your life where family to me means everything. I'd give it all away, a heartbeat, right? I'd give it all away in a heartbeat. I don't give a shit. If it meant that I kept my family and that's what was most important and we were happy or whatever, I would do whatever it took. But I'm just saying, don't just say, oh, if your family's telling you, Dad, we need you.
Right. There has to be a balance.
Yeah, there's a balance, right?
What we're talking about is the outside people, right?
Outside
The
people,
outside noise that's coming in telling you don't, then obviously ignore those and just, and again, like John's saying, do it for your family, right? We're talking about exit strategy. We're talking about being able to provide for your wife, for your children down the road, the day that you're gone. That's what it's for. That's what you strive to build and leave that legacy behind. So Zach and John, believe it or not, I don't think we're going to have time for final thoughts. I have to head out at 11:30 here because we're going to go look at some space to be able to shoot some content, some videos. And then from there, I'm going to go visit Chad Jimerson, our boys out at Pooley, out in Garland, Texas. So they invited me out to go take a look at their place down there. So I'm going to go take a drive down there. And then, John, believe it or not, I got to come back at 4:30 because Jaden has a job interview.
Whoa, where?
He's got one at Chili's. I got to do the full circle, be back, get back. Gosh, what do? We literally have 6 minutes. So
We'll just do the commercials and sayonara.
well, I'll tell you what, let's drop it here. I'll play the sponsor ad from here, and then we will catch everybody Wednesday on our Instagram Live.
See ya.
That's it.
Awkward.
Well, it's weird because our exit is thrown for a loop.
No final thought because I'm going to go on a tangent right now.
John, give me your final thoughts.
I do want to talk. No, I don't want to. You can do it. I have a whole new perspective on our podcast now. I believe I'm listening to me talk, and it's like my therapy session. I think this is me that I'm discussing here. This is good. This is good. I had a revelation today. I'm getting in touch with myself.
That just sounded so wrong, John.
Man.
Yes.
I'm in a whole week for trouble, dude.
We started this whole 10 o'clock in the morning thing isn't working, Zach. It's just not working for John. He's just not in his thing. He starts taking 15 different pills, and then he starts going that he's heard about my phone calls, and then like his feelings are coming out, Zach.
Yeah, dude. This is what I'm saying, dude. This is like
This was his therapy telling me that he's bothered by my phone etiquette to him and that I need to change my behavior. So it's almost like a relationship type thing. Like he's mad at his partner that, hey, you're not, and it hurts me.
I don't give a shit. We had a breakthrough today. I think this is good.
It was good.
Yeah. Same time next week. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Next time next week, right? The session.
Next time next week. So anyways, gentlemen, thank you so much. John, I will be calling you. Make sure you answer your phone. So hopefully. So anyways, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Everybody join us next Wednesday on our Instagram Live. We'll catch you guys next week. Have a good one. Bye.
See ya.
The Hyper Pole from Ultimate Pool Tools is a pool care pole designed by pool professionals for pool professionals, featuring precision-crafted carbon fiber and stainless steel construction. Go to ultimatepooltools.com or Instagram at Ultimate Pool Tools. Pool pros have specific needs when it comes to general liability insurance. The SPPA program has you covered. With 3 tailored and customizable general liability options, SPPA makes it easy for pool pros to feel secure. Find out more and get covered at thesppa.com. Now available, Pool Invoice. Pool Invoice is a pool billing software created specifically for the pool service and repair industry. It's developed for our industry and only our industry. Pool Invoice is built with recurring billing in mind. You can print, email, text invoices, or even send via WhatsApp. You can add recurring or yearly charges, accept credits, and set up autopay. You can even see when customers have seen the invoice. It even has a customer portal where they can log in and see, print, and pay invoices. It has all your customers' information on one page, so you don't need to search through hundreds of invoices looking for the one you need. Just go to the customer profile and it's all at your fingertips. Created specifically for the pool industry, Pool Invoice. Now available at poolinvoice.com. Blu-ray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blu-ray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blu-ray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BlueRayXL.com.
Blu-ray all day.
Aquastar's new pipeline cartridge filters, available in 2 sizes, deliver top-notch hydraulic efficiency along with best-in-class filtration performance, approaching that of DE filters. Uniquely designed, open pleat spacing means 100% of the media square footage is usable. And these claims are backed by NSF test results. Designed with the pro's time and comfort in mind, the patented double locking system improves safety and ease of access, making filter cleaners faster than ever before. Available now. Ask your supplier for pipeline filters today.
Natural Chemistry, a leader in specialty water care solutions for over 30 years, is proud to provide products that make pool service easier than ever before. Its unique enzyme formulations in Pro Series Pro Blend improve efficiency of your pool program while reducing frequency of filter cleaning and scum lines. Natural Chemistry is also well known for its wide variety of phosphate removal solutions that include a non-clouding formula in Phos-Free and extremely high-range removal with Pro Series Phos Remove or Phos-Free Max. Save time, save money, save work with Pro Series products. Stop sacrificing durability or efficiency with the help of Raypak's new Avia HD models that utilize NITEC, their exclusive industry-first technology. NITEC heat exchanger technology is Raypak's latest solution to superior strength and maximum efficiency when it comes to residential pool heating. With 900% more nickel compared to copper nickel in critical surfaces, NITEC creates an ideal surface to protect against scale formation and erosion without compromising on Avia's 84% thermal efficiency. Learn more at raypak.com/NITEC. The next evolution in lighting is here. Universal Color Logic 2.0 from Hayward. The latest in pool and spa lighting was designed with you in mind, making installation a breeze. Upgrades include a detachable cord and first-of-a-kind adjustable lower catch to overcome variations in plaster thickness. As always, Universal Color Logic lights retrofit into virtually any in-ground pool or spa while delivering industry-leading, vibrant color. Visit Hayward.com to discover more. Thanks for listening to the Pool Nation podcast, a member of the Pool Nation family. You can listen to us live every Friday here at 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central, and 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. You can find us at Pool Nation or PoolNationPodcast.com, on Facebook, or on Instagram at Pool.Nation. And to find more info about Pool Invoice, the billing software built specifically for the pool industry, go to PoolInvoice.com. Before you go, this is what the pool industry has been waiting for. PoolmanUniversity.com. It's the first platform dedicated to learning the swimming pool service and repair industry. A pool service community where you can connect and find videos on business, service, water chemistry, and repairs. See you there at PoolmanUniversity.com.